What if I told you that every thought you've ever whispered into the universe still echoes in eternity, that every deed, whether sung in light or cloaked in shadow, was not forgotten but recorded, not by some watchful judge in the clouds, but by the very fabric of reality itself? There is an old saying from the East, you do not live in the world lives in you. And nestled within this saying is a key, a secret law, a mirror, a truth, one that sages, mystics and wanderers have passed from breath to breath across the ancient sands of time. This truth? That life is not random, that cause and effect are not merely physical mechanics, but sacred, intelligent movements of a spiritual orchestra. This truth has a name, karma, but not as you've been told. Most believe karma is punishment, a cosmic slap on the wrist. Do bad, and bad shall follow. Do good, and heaven applauds. But karma is not about morality, it is about movement. It is the dance of energy and intention. It is the invisible pattern beneath your pain, and the hidden hand behind your blessings. Karma is not just one law. It is 12 eternal principles, each like a sacred rung in a spiral staircase. Climb them and you rise, ignore them, and you circle the same patterns again and again, lifetime after lifetime. These are not rules written in stone by some external god. They are echoes of your own consciousness, reflections of the soul's curriculum. And whether you are aware of them or not, they are shaping your relationships, your finances, your health, your joy. Right now, you may feel stuck. You may wonder why cycles repeat, why betrayal haunts your friendships, why does money slip through your fingers, why love keeps knocking but never stays. The answer may not be outside of you. The answer may be in these 12 laws, not in understanding them intellectually, but in remembering them soul deep. Because the truth is this, karma is not here to punish, it is here to awaken, to reveal the blueprint you wrote before you ever breathed your first breath. In this journey, I will walk with you through the veils of illusion. We will travel through the 12 temples of karma, unpacking each law not as dogma, but as living, breathing wisdom. You will learn not only what each law is, but how it moves through your life like wind through the trees, how to dance with it instead of resist it, and how to use it as a portal to transform your reality. We will reach into the sacred scrolls of Hinduism and Buddhism, touch the edges of Hermetic and Egyptian echoes, and align ourselves with truth so old, they predate language itself. But understand this, these laws are not meant to be admired. They are meant to be lived. They are spiritual fire, not to warm your hands, but to ignite your soul. So take a breath, drop into the space between your thoughts. Feel the stillness opening. You are not here by accident. These words are not random. This moment is not a coincidence. It's karma, calling, whispering. Do you remember? Because once you truly understand the 12 laws of karma, not just with your mind, but with your being, life begins to unfold not as chaos, but as a canvas. One you paint not with fear, but with divine awareness. Are you ready to remember the code of your soul, to reclaim the spiritual laws that govern not only what happens to you, but who are you becoming? Then walk with me. The path is opening. The sacred scrolls await. Before the word karma ever graced Western conversation, before it was reduced to a buzzword for consequence or poetic justice, it lived as a sacred pulse within the hearts of ancient civilizations. To truly understand karma is to step back, not just hundreds, but thousands of years, into the firelit temples of Vedic India, into the whispering jungles of early Buddhism, into the golden halls of Hermetic Egypt, where mystics did not study life from the outside. They entered it, soul first. The first written mention of karma appears in the Rig Veda, a scripture older than the pyramids, older than the legends of Zeus, older than most of what the modern world calls history. In Sanskrit, karma means action, but not merely physical movement. It is action imbued with intention, with consciousness. To the ancient rishis, the seers of India, every act, thought, and emotion was seen as a seed planted into the fertile field of the cosmos. And the universe? It is not neutral soil. It remembers. As the law of karma matured through the Upanishads and later the Bhagavad Gita, a profound teaching crystallized. You have the right to your actions, but never to the fruits of your actions. This wasn't mere poetry, it was a transmission of divine design, that we are not judged, but mirrored, that the universe is not a punisher, but a perfect responder. What you send out, not just in deed, but in vibration, returns, not always today, not always tomorrow, but always in the perfect rhythm of your soul's curriculum. As the teachings of Dharma traveled east with Gautama Buddha, the understanding of karma deepened into mindfulness and liberation. Buddha did not speak of karma as fate, but as a choice. The first noble truth speaks of suffering, but the deeper revelation, suffering has a cause, and thus a cure. What's the cause? Ignorance, craving, aversion. And these are not external evils, they are inner distortions, and each time we indulge them, we plant karmic seeds. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha taught, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. This wasn't a metaphor. It was the science of inner alchemy, a formula hidden in simplicity. Thought, intention, action, result. Karma in this light becomes not a cosmic system of reward and punishment, but a spiritual classroom, tailored precisely to each soul. And even better, it can be transcended through stillness, through the right intention, through compassion and awakening. But make no mistake, karma is not exclusive to the East. In ancient Egypt, the goddess Ma'at governed balance, truth, and cosmic justice. Her feather was weighed against the hearts of the dead, and those whose hearts were heavy with falsehood or chaos could not pass through the veil. Ma'at, in many ways, was the Egyptian embodiment of karmic principle, that the universe favors harmony, not discord. That order arises not from dominance but from alignment. The Hermetic teachings of Thoth, the Egyptian sage who became Mercury to the Romans, spoke of the law of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. Again and again, across continents and cultures, the same truth sings. Life is not random, it is sacredly synchronized. In Christian mysticism, one hears echoes too. As you sow, so shall you reap. In Kabbalah, the tree of life reveals the interconnected pathways of cause and consequence, where every thought shapes the next sephira, the next outcome. In Taoism, karma is not named, but it is lived. As Tao, the way flows through all things. To resist it is to invite imbalance. To flow with it is to harmonize with the divine design. The Tao Te Ching whispers, do your work, then step back, the only path to serenity. This is karma, not retribution, but realignment. You see, karma is not punishment, it is precision. It is not some cold scorekeeper in the sky, it is the architecture of your own becoming. Every soul incarnates with lessons to learn, energies to balance, truths to reclaim. Some come with the karma of silence, to learn to speak their truth. Some with the karma of abandonment, to anchor deep love and belonging. Some with the karma of wealth, to learn detachment and generosity. And these laws, they are not imposed upon you. They are written within you. You are not at the mercy of karma, you are its student and its master. But to rise above karma, you must first understand it. To transmute karma, you must recognize where it is operating unconsciously. Because karma is not only ancient, it is also immediate. It exists not only in past lives and cosmic debts, but in how you treat the stranger at the market, in the thoughts you allow when no one is watching, in the silent vows you make in moments of pain. Every moment is a karmic thread, and your awareness is the needle. And so, as we stand now at the threshold of the 12 laws, let us not approach them as rules carved into tablets, but as living keys to your divine sovereignty. For within these laws are maps that lead from confusion to clarity, from chaos to purpose, from suffering to peace. You will see yourself in these teachings, your patterns, your heartbreaks, your breakthroughs, but more than that, you will see who you were always meant to be. Because karma is not the end of the story, it is the beginning. the whisper before the awakening, the ripple before the wave, and now the ancient door creaks open. The sacred scrolls lie before you. The soul is listening. Step with me now into the ancient circle. 12 flames flicker, each a cosmic teaching, each a reflection of your soul's journey through time. We begin with the first 6 laws. Not as commandments, but as mirrors. Not as judgments, but as invitations to remember who you are beneath the noise. As you sow, so shall you reap. This is the essence, the seed, the primal law. Everything that happens to you, within you and through you, is not accidental. It is echo. Every thought you release into the world is a stone cast into water. The ripples will return, not out of vengeance, but out of symmetry. If you offer love, it may not return instantly, but love will find you again. If you sow anger, even silently, it too will bloom. This law is not a punishment, but a teacher. It does not ask what happened to you, it asks, what are you choosing to become? To embody this law, become mindful of your daily sowing. Each word, each thought, each intention, is it rooted in fear or love? The field is always fertile. What seed are you planting? Life doesn't just happen, it requires participation. You are not a passive receiver of reality. You are a co-creator, a sculptor shaping the clay of consciousness. The universe is not something out there. It is within, shaped by your inner dialogue, your emotions, your visualizations, your alignment. The law of creation reminds us, if you are surrounded by chaos, look within. If you crave peace, become it. Like a sacred loom, your inner world weaves the outer one. And every act of creation, be it a painting, a meal, a smile, a plan, is spiritual. To embody this law, create with sacred intent. Speak as if your words form galaxies. Act as though your energy will echo for generations, because it will. What you refuse to accept will continue. Here lies the gateway to surrender. Many reject their karmic lessons by denying their reflection. We are to blame. We deflect, we project. But karma waits patiently until we turn the mirror inward. The law of humility teaches us, you cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot heal what you pretend isn't broken. And so, to evolve, we must bow. Not in weakness, but in awareness. To embody this law, sit with your discomfort. Ask, what is life showing me through this experience? And listen not with judgment, but reverence. For every painful cycle is not your enemy, it is your mirror, sent to awaken you. Wherever you go, there you are. We long to change the world. We try to shift people, rearrange circumstances, chase greener fields. But the law of growth whispers, true change begins within. You can move cities, lovers, careers, but if your inner soil is untended, the same weeds will sprout in new places. Growth is not about fixing the world, it is about becoming more aware of it. And as your awareness deepens, the world reshapes around you like water responding to vibration. To embody this law, stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what in me is ready to grow? Then cultivate stillness, intention, and soul honesty. You are the garden. Tend yourself and the world becomes Eden. We are the source of what happens around us. This law requires the highest courage, the courage to claim authorship over your reality, not blame, not guilt, but deep sacred responsibility. You are not the victim of energy, you are the generator of it. Your reactions, your choices, your frequency, they shape your experience of the world. The law of responsibility is radical liberation, because once you own your power, you are no longer at the mercy of anyone. To embody this law, stop waiting for others to change. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Choose alignment now. Speak the truth now. Be integrity now. Responsibility is not heaviness. It is the birth of sovereignty. Everything in the universe is connected. There is no such thing as a small action. No moment that doesn't matter. No life that is insignificant. The breath of a butterfly affects the wind in the mountains. Your silent prayer echoes through timelines. The smile you gave a stranger may have saved their life. Karma is not just personal. It is collective. Each act of kindness, each act of cruelty weaves into the tapestry of all. This law calls us to awaken to our oneness. To embody this law, treat others not as separate, but as sacred reflections. Honor the energy of every space you enter. Clean your thoughts like you clean your home, because the energy you carry enters everything you touch. These are not 6 disconnected teachings. They are threads in one luminous braid. The law of cause and effect teaches you your power. The law of creation reminds you of your role. The law of humility humbles the ego. The law of growth grounds you in transformation. The law of responsibility awakens your sovereignty. And the law of connection reunites you with the divine web. These 6 laws are initiations. Each one asks not for obedience, but for remembrance. And when you begin to live them, not as philosophy but as practice, you do not just align with karma. You transcend it. But this is only half the circle. There are still 6 more laws, 6 deeper spirals, 6 hidden truths that move through paradox, shadow, and higher awakening. We now enter the second chamber of karmic law, a realm not of surface action, but of energetic refinement. Here karma becomes less visible, but more profound. These final 6 laws are not just about doing, they are about being. They whisper in the silence between breaths and reveal themselves to the one who listens not with ears, but with the soul. You cannot think of 2 things at the same time. The universe mirrors the clarity of your mind, and where your focus goes, your energy flows. To the ancient mystics, scattered attention was a form of spiritual disintegration. To live in alignment meant to discipline the mind, not through force, but through intention. If your focus is on fear, you magnify it. If your focus is on beauty, you invite it. This law teaches that clarity is sacred. You cannot climb the mountain while staring at the valley. To embody this law, choose your focus like you choose your prayers. Hold attention not with tension but with devotion. Each day ask, what am I truly attending to? Because what you stare at, you become. If you believe something to be true, you will be called to demonstrate it. Belief without embodiment is an illusion. Spiritual knowledge must pass through the gate of action. You say you believe in love? Then love when it's inconvenient. You say you trust in abundance, then give even when you feel lacking. This law demands congruence, not to prove your worth, but to anchor your belief into reality. The universe does not respond to what you say, it responds to who you are. To embody this law, turn wisdom into walking. Let generosity become your ritual. Give what you seek: time, love, presence, peace. Because what you give is a prophecy of what you are prepared to receive. One cannot be present while still looking backward. This moment is the altar. This breath is the teacher. The past has its echoes. The future holds its visions. But power is only ever found here. This law invites us to release old stories, to stop dragging our history into the sacred now, to see that karma is not just a circle, it is a spiral, and you are invited to rise. But to rise, you must let go of what no longer serves. To embody this law, practice sacred presence. Let go of who you were so you can remember who you are. Be here, fully. Life becomes a doorway, not a weight. History repeats itself until we learn the lesson and change our path. You've felt this law before, haven't you? The repeating relationships, the recurring heartbreak, the familiar disappointments. Why? Because the soul does not give up on its curriculum. Karma does not punish you with repetition. It loves you enough to keep bringing you the mirror until you no longer turn away. This law is a sacred mercy. It says, you are not doomed. You are being shown the wound so that you can finally choose healing. To embody this law, notice the pattern, name the lesson, then choose differently. When you change your response, you shift the entire karmic loop. The wheel stops turning because you finally saw its center. All rewards require patient labor. In a world addicted to speed, this law is an antidote, a reminder that the soul S timeline is not the ego S. Just as the seed must sit in darkness before it blossoms, so too must you trust your unseen becoming. Karma is not rushed. Divine timing cannot be manipulated, but it is always precise. Every effort in alignment, every intention held in grace, is stored like light in the womb of the cosmos, and it will return. Not always when you want, but always when you are ready. To embody this law, work in faith, Detach from results. And know, the reward is not just what you receive, it's who you become while waiting. You get back from something whatever you've put into it. Nothing is wasted. No prayer unheard. No act unseen. This final law is a cosmic echo. Whatever you pour your soul into will carry your essence and your impact. Whether it's a conversation, a painting, a dream, or a life, what you do with your heart becomes immortal. This law calls you to stop living halfway, to stop waiting for signs and instead become the sign. Your energy matters. Your presence matters. You matter. To embody this law, live as though your energy ripples through eternity, because it does. Let every breath be a blessing. Let every task be touched with soul. And so, the circle completes. 12 laws, 12 flames, 12 initiations into a new kind of seeing. You now hold the blueprint, not because these teachings are new, but because they were always yours. You didn't come here to escape karma. You came to master it. And in doing so, you do not just change your life, you uplift the collective. You help awaken the world. Because as one soul remembers, it lights the way for many. Esoteric truth becomes spiritual power only when it is lived. And karma is not a philosophy to debate. It is a path to walk, barefoot and awake. You now hold the map. But maps are useless unless you take the first step. We cross the threshold. From mystic scrolls to morning habits, from cosmic law to conscious living. This is where the sacred becomes tangible, where the divine is braided into your breath. These 12 laws are not meant to overwhelm. They are meant to weave into your rhythm. Even one law lived fully can unlock lifetimes of stagnant energy. To live karmically aligned, you must begin with intentional awareness. Every morning, before the mind is polluted by the noise of the world, enter into sacred stillness. Light a candle. Sit in silence. Breathe deeply. And then ask yourself 3 questions. What am I showing today? Great law, law of creation. Where do I need to take responsibility? Law of responsibility. Who am I becoming through my choices? Law of growth. You may journal these reflections or simply speak them aloud like a morning invocation. In doing this, you pre-program your consciousness to align with the karmic current. Even 5 minutes of this ritual can shift your entire day. Take a quiet afternoon or evening, sit with a notebook and soul honesty. Ask yourself, what is the one painful pattern that keeps repeating in my life? Is it in love, money, friendship, self-worth? Now trace it back, not to blame, but to awareness. Where did this begin? When did I first feel this way? What part of me keeps feeding this cycle? Once identified, bless it. Say aloud, this pattern has been a teacher, but I am ready to choose differently. I honor the lesson, I release the loop. Then, define a new aligned action, a different choice, a new frequency. Each time the old pattern arises, pause and make the new choice. This is how karma is transmuted, not in fire, but in conscious repetition. Once a week, choose a day to become a karmic alchemist. On this day, every thought, word, and action is intentional. You are not reacting, you are creating. Speak only what you wish to receive. Give only what you long to feel. Think only in the energy you want mirrored back to you. It is a powerful practice of purification. You'll begin to see how much of your life has been unconscious creation. This law, when practiced mindfully, becomes your most powerful teacher. What you feel you lack is often what you are meant to offer. Feeling unloved? Send loving messages to 3 people today. Feeling unsupported? Go out of your way to support someone silently. Feeling unrecognized? Take time to celebrate others' success. This is not self-sacrifice, it is energy mastery. When you give from the energy you wish to receive, you become that energy. And what you become magnetizes your desires to you. Once a day, pause. No phone, no noise, no planning, just presence. Sit by a tree, feel your breath. Listen to the birds, the traffic, the silence. Repeat inwardly. Now is the only place where life happens. I choose to see it with open eyes. The present moment is where karma is born and where it is rewritten. Return here often. It is your spiritual reset button. When a painful situation arises, instead of spiraling, ask, What is life trying to teach me through this repetition? And more importantly, how can I respond differently this time? Maybe the lesson is boundaries, maybe it's self-worth, maybe it's surrender. The moment you respond differently, you are not the same person who created the loop. And the loop, it dissolves. You rise, and karma bows to your growth. Each week, explore one of the following journal questions. What unconscious seeds am I showing through my thoughts? Where am I blaming others instead of owning my frequency? What have I been resisting that keeps showing up in my life? What would my highest self do differently today? Where can I offer more presence and grace? Journaling is how the subconscious reveals its karmic blueprints, and what is seen can be transcended. Once a month, hold a sacred space to reset your karma. Light a candle and sit in silence. Reflect on the past month. What patterns, blessings, challenges came? Write a letter of release to any karmic residue. I release the need to repeat what I have already learned. Burn the letter safely. Set one new aligned intention and speak it aloud. This is ancient magic, not for control, but for clarity. A symbolic act that tells the universe, I am awake now. Relationships are the fastest karmic mirrors. Each trigger is a teacher, each attraction a remembering, each heartbreak a curriculum. When conflict arises, pause, breathe. Ask, what is this really showing me about myself? Do not rush to react. Sit in the space between action and awareness. Let your soul speak before your ego does. And always, always, always choose love. Not attachment, not fear, but love that liberates. Even when it means walking away. Your karma is influenced by your energy hygiene. Daily practices. Smudge your space with sage or incense. Take salt baths to cleanse auric residue. Speak blessings over your food and water. Keep your words light, your thoughts are luminous. You are an energetic being. And karma, remember, is energy in motion. Stay clean, stay clear, stay aligned. Living karmically is not about being perfect, it's about being conscious. There will be days when you fall asleep again, days you repeat old loops, days you forget your divinity. That's okay. The universe is not measuring your worth, it is dancing with your awakening. Return to the breath, return to the laws, return to love, and begin again. You now have the tools, not as commandments, but as companions. Let karma be your mirror, let action become your prayer, let presence become your power. Because when you live these laws, you do not just change your karma, you become a living temple of transformation for all who meet you. And now, dear soul, you stand at the edge of the sacred circle, not as a student of ideas, but as a keeper of ancient fire. 12 laws, 12 luminous truths, 12 ways to walk not just through the world, but within it. Awake, aware, aligned. You have not merely learned the laws of karma. You have remembered them. Because deep within you, beneath the layers of identity and noise, you have always known. What I do matters. What I think creates. Who I am becoming is my true legacy. This is the wisdom the ancients lived by, not in theory, but in embodiment. They rose with reverence for the unseen. They spoke as if their words echoed through eternity. They acted with integrity, not to be praised, but because the universe was listening. And now, it listens to you. The laws of karma do not bind you, they liberate you. They do not punish you, they awaken you. Every moment is a karmic thread, and with awareness you become the weaver. You get to choose the pattern. You get to choose the tone of your soul's song. And if you falter, good, because it means you're awake enough to notice. And in that noticing, the wheel begins to turn a different way. Karma is not static, it is dynamic. It shifts the moment you shift. So let this not end with knowledge. Let this be a beginning. Begin each day with sacred intention. Speak your truth, even when your voice trembles. Offer love where bitterness once lived. Give when no one sees. Forgive where hurt once grew roots. Because every choice now is planting a future you cannot yet see. And if the path ahead feels long, if the changes you seek seem slow to bloom, remember this: even the stars took time to form. Even the oak was once a seed buried in silence, and your awakening is already unfolding. You are not behind, you are not broken, you are simply remembering what your soul has always known, that you are not at the mercy of fate. You are a creator of flow, a mirror of the divine, a master of motion. So, breathe. Stand tall in your becoming, and walk the path of karma not with fear, but with fire in your eyes and peace in your bones. Because now you know, karma is not destiny, it is design. And the architect is you.